Saturday Social is powered by EA Sports FIFA 23 with PlayStation.
Time now for Trends of the Week. We know there was 1 hour. The guests get a minute to debate the hottest talking points from social media. What you got for us first, mate?
Yeah, we're starting with the Champions League draw. If you haven't seen it already, we can have a quick look at it. No. Some notable sides in there, obviously the British sides. Liverpool in there against Ajax, Napoli, Rangers.
What a group that is.
Group C as well, a group of death, Bayern, Barca, Inter Milan in there too. Tottenham are in Group D, Chelsea are in Group E, Celtic F against Real Madrid. That's a big old game, isn't it? And then Manchester City will see Haaland return to Borussia Dortmund.
6 British clubs, yeah.
6 British clubs in there. So we're going to be asking our guests which British club will go the furthest. 60 seconds on the clock. Pi, I'm coming to you first.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
I think even though with history, I'm going to go Man City, just based purely on squad ability, squad quality. Tough group though, with Sevilla and Dortmund. I think Spurs done all right on their group. I think they'll do okay. Chelsea got a difficult group. Was it Milan?
Salzburg.
I think Salzburg are underrated.
Yeah.
But I just think based on squad quality, ability, I'm going for Man City. That's for me.
Yeah, Jimbo?
So I'm going to go with Chelsea. I'm going to play the long game here. Right, the reason I'm going to say Chelsea is because I think in the league, they will be in that position where there's no way they're getting the title and there's no way they're finishing out the Champions League. And so with that in mind, they'll be able to be careful with their squad, rest a few and be nice and ready for those big games. And they can beat anyone at any point, and especially with some of the reinforcements that they've got. I think there's a bad feeling around Chelsea, but I don't think it's really fair because they've got a lot of quality and a lot of depth. And by that point, it could be exciting. I think their group's decent as well.
Tottenham, how deep are they going?
I think Tottenham will get through.
All the way.
Like the group. No, they'll get to the
then.
group, I think.
No excuses for Tottenham.
I think a lot of the teams will get to the group.
Conte's got a questionable Champions League record, though.
Moving on, let's talk about Man United because, Joe, you almost wrote this trend because you're buzzing that Casemiro got through the door, weren't you?
Yeah.
Good signing for Man United, but he was asked by journalists if the lack of Champions League, it ties nicely to our first trend, would be a problem. And to be fair, this is a brilliant response when asked about not playing in the Champions League this season. He says, well, I have 5 Champions League winners medals. I can't argue that.
What do you cut? Because no comeback.
Cannot argue that at all.
There's no comeback.
5 Champions League winners medals is incredible.
So
next trend, quite simply, because a lot of United fans are buzzing with it. Other people have said that he is 30 and he's on a long contract. So I split opinions slightly with regards to the contract. So our next trend is quite simply, will he be a success at Manchester United? So 60 seconds on the clock. James, what do you think?
Will he be a success? Do you know what I think he'll be? For any Sunday League player who goes, oh, well, what kind of player are you? They'll go, I'm a bit like Casemiro, I sort of just get it and give it simply. And so that is success in itself. But I think for this team, he will give them some foundations to improve. Will he be that guy who lists the trophies for them? I think we're a long way from that. So it's difficult. Look, it's not a bad signing. It's going to be interesting to see how he gets on with the pace of the Premier League. I think that's the big thing for me. But yes, just about.
OK, clearly an unbelievable player, but people have pointed out the length of contract and the wages that he's on. Where do you stand on it?
I think he'll be unreal for them. I think he's a perfect fit for what they need. They need that gritty sort of... that role that he's playing in, it's not a pretty role, is it? It's that DM, that get your tackles in, win the ball, fight for your team. I think he'd be perfect for them. I'm thinking of players other than him, really, they could have signed. Declan Rice maybe was the other one. I think that kind of fits his sort of like style, but I think he'll be great for him. Absolutely great.
I like that positivity.
There we go.
I like that positivity, and I agree with you. Let's move on to our third trend then, take it a bit more negative now. Let's talk about Raheem Sterling, because he gave a very honest interview, which is always good to see, to Sky Sports' Jeff Shreves about his exit from Manchester City. If you haven't seen it already, give this a listen.
When you play your heart out week in, sacrifice, some of your kids' birthdays and stuff like this, and then to get treated in a certain way, it's disappointing. But as I said, it's not one that I'll sit here and complain. You just move on and get on with it. I couldn't be in a more happier place now. Of course, at the time I was fuming, raging, all of that, as you would say. But it's gone. It's in the past. As I said, I only focus on the present, which is now and here at Chelsea. The opportunity I've got here to go out and showcase my talents once again.
Yeah, always good to see footballers talking honestly, has to be said. But the question we're going to ask is, was Raheem Sterling underappreciated at Manchester City? We've got 60 seconds on the clock, let's go.
Yes, I think to a point he was, but it's difficult because they have such quality in those positions. They got so many players that can play there, 4, 5, 6 in that position. I think even I underappreciated what he'd done for England as well as a player. And clearly you can see there he wants to be playing, he wants to be on the pitch. And I respect that. So was it? Yeah, I think he was. I think I'd say, but definitely from myself, I think he was underappreciated.
Timbo?
I would disagree. I think the writing was on the wall as soon as Jack Grealish comes through. You've also got... It's difficult, isn't it? You've got someone like Foden who's going to play on that left-hand side as well, who's an unbelievable talent. I just love Raheem Sterling's mindset here because he feels like he was underappreciated. Yeah. And that's actually what matters and what Chelsea fans will be delighted about because you want him to be annoyed. You want him to be raging. But at the same time, he's moving on and not even thinking about it. And he's an ambitious guy. So... I don't think he was, if I'm honest, but I like that he thinks that he was.
That's good opinion.
He'll be a big player for Chelsea, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, massively influential in that City period.
Absolutely, yeah. Won a lot of trophies, didn't he, for Man City? But then a lot of Man City players do win a lot of trophies, don't they? Moving on to our fourth and final trend. Now, this is obviously a great Monday Night Football for you, Joe. Man United beating Liverpool. But an interesting stat was doing the round beforehand, talking about Bruno, who played well in that game. Just take a look at this. So this is looking at Bruno's Premier League career. And this is before Ronaldo arrived at Man United and since Ronaldo. As you can see, slightly more appearances before that. But goal involvements, 48 from 54 appearances before Ronaldo arrived at Old Trafford, this is. And only 13 in 36 since. So that's minute per goal involvement is 95 minutes pre and 240 since Ronaldo's there. A lot of people were talking about this. And bear in mind as well that he is a teammate for club and country. And someone that he knows very well. So the next trend is just quite simply, is Bruno Fernandes a better player without Ronaldo in the team? 60 seconds on the clock. James, what do you think?
Yes, absolutely.
Ooh, strong.
I've been saying this for quite some time. It's about accountability and feeling valuable. And when Bruno Fernandes, he's one of those players who's better when he's captain, he's better when he's important to the team. And when Ronaldo's playing in the team, and if you look at it at Portugal as well, he got dropped in, I think it was the Euros, in the second game because it just didn't work because the whole point was to facilitate Ronaldo. It's such a shadow that he casts. I think the whole team is better without Ronaldo, personally. I think they have a lot more energy, but in particular, Bruno, you can see it with the goals, and I think you can see it in his demeanour as well.
Pi, what do you think?
It's a tough one for me because I'm such a Ronaldo fan. I kind of want to see it work, and as a mutual, I want to see Ronaldo playing. Like if I want to watch Man United, I want to see Ronaldo on the pitch. But it seems like because everything they want to do is for Ronaldo, it puts other players' kind of abilities on the back burner. So if Bruno wants to play a different role, he's not allowed to play in that role because it doesn't fit what Ronaldo wants. So, yeah, I guess you can't disagree with the stats on that.